What if I told you there is a place where every turn feels like stepping into a fairy tale? Welcome to Switzerland's most breathtaking places. In this video, I will take you through Lauterbrunnen, Mürren, Gimmelwald, and Wengen, some of the most magical alpine villages you will ever hike. So let's start our journey in Lauterbrunnen, the Valley of 72 Waterfalls. When we reached Lauterbrunnen, it was already 4 p.m., but still a lot of people strolling around even in the rain, as you can see from the video. Imagine how crowded it gets on a sunny day. Straight away we're heading towards a Hotel Silberhorn, one of the best known hotels in Lauterbrunnen. First, you will need to park up at the side and go to reception to check in. That's where they give you an access card for the parking area. Just tap in at the gate and the barrier will lift automatically. From there, you will also reach the rooms. Silberhorn is a traditional Swiss hotel with modern comfort. It has a lift, so even with luggage, it's easy to get to your room. The hotel is also famous for its restaurant, where they serve hearty Swiss dishes and local specialties. And in the mornings, the breakfast buffet is a real treat. Our room was cozy rooftop room. From here we could hear the rain at night, step out onto the balcony and enjoy views of the surrounding mountains. Inside, the shower and bath were clean, the beds were really comfortable and the room stayed warm all the time, exactly what you need after a long walk in the rain. One interesting detail, if you want to share a meal at the restaurant, they charge an extra 5 Swiss francs for additional plate. A bit unusual, but worth knowing before you order. The location of the Silberhorn Hotel couldn't be better. Just a few minutes walk downhill is the Coop supermarket, and right next to it you will find the train station and the gondola. Whether you are planning hike, a trip up the Jungfrau or simply exploring the valley, everything is within easy reach. As we never like to waste our precious time, the same day we headed out to see one of Lauterbrunnen's most famous sites, Staubbach Falls. It drops nearly 300 meters from the cliffs right above the village, making it one of the highest free-falling waterfalls in Europe. It's so iconic that it inspired poets and travelers for centuries. You can also take a short hike that brings you closer to the falls. The trail leads you up to a tunnel carved into the rock. Inside it gets quite dark. There is no lighting at all, so having your phone flashlight really helps. The ground can also be wet and a little slippery, so be careful as you make your way through. But once you step out, you get a nice view. You can feel the mist of the waterfall on your face and look straight across the valley to the mountains. After visiting the falls, we stopped by the Horner pub, a favorite spot in Lauterbrunnen for both locals and travelers. It's a cozy place with a really friendly vibe. We ordered a pint of beer and a cider and some hearty goulash soup. That was delicious. The cider in Switzerland is surprisingly good, crisp and very refreshing. The next day, the rain was still coming down, but that didn't stop us from exploring the local area. We stayed close to Lauterbrunnen and set out on foot. From our hotel, we crossed the river and followed the trail along the opposite side of the valley. Eventually, we crossed the river again and continued walking until we reached Stechelberg, a small village at the very end of the valley. For the way back, instead of walking in the rain, we simply hopped on the bus that brought us right back to Lauterbrunnen. You can buy tickets on the bus, by the way. So, in more detail, after checking the map and planning out our path, we decided to wander down to a quieter, less touristy part of Lauterbrunnen. Most visitors stay on the other side of the river, but when you walk underneath the rail bridge, much more resident vibe begins. From here you get the perfect shot, the charming alpine church in the foreground with the dramatic Staubbach Falls cascading behind it. From the church we carried on walking until the road ended. After crossing over to the other side and getting closer to the river, we found a number of small bridges, each one offering fresh views of waterfalls. The rain actually enhanced everything. The greenery seemed newer, the moss richer, and the whole scene felt more mysterious. As the trail led us into a small woodland, we were surprised to come across a well-equipped barbecue area, complete with benches and fire pits. It looked like the perfect spot for a quiet picnic, maybe even a roasting something over an open flame, rain or shine. Finally, the path brought us to Stechelberg station at the far end of the valley. For the return, we hopped on a bus, quick, dry and efficient, bringing us right back to Lauterbrunnen without retracting all those sudden steps. Third day, without wasting a moment, we hopped on the gondola right next to the hotel and rode up to Grütschalp. Oh, excuse me if I said it really wrong. The cable car from Lauterbrunnen to Grütschalp takes just about 4 minutes and runs smoothly every 30 minutes, efficient and scenic. Once at Grütschalp, we transferred to a small mountain train that continued the journey to Mürren. This part of the ride lasts roughly 14 minutes and treats you to the incredible panoramic views. One-way ticket from Lauterbrunnen to Mürren, cable car plus train, costs around 15 Swiss francs. These fares are fixed, valid all day, and you can buy them on the spot, no advance booking needed. And if you're traveling with a pet, good news, Switzerland is very dog friendly. Pets are typically allowed on cable cars and trains, often free if small or carried, though some cable operators may charge. Usually it's minimal or even waived. After a short and scenic ride, we arrived at Mürren station. From the moment we stepped out, the panoramic mountain scenery everywhere is just no words to describe. Mürren itself feels like stepping into a postcard. Because we arrived so early in the morning, the streets were almost empty and most of the shops and cafes were still closed. It felt like we had the whole town just for ourselves. As we strolled through, we eventually reached the other cable car station, the one that can either take you down to Stechelberg at the valley floor or all the way up towards the famous Schilthorn and Piz Gloria, known for its 360-degree revolving restaurant and James Bond connection. Instead of taking the cable car, we decided to continue our walk further uphill. Soon we found a trail marker pointing us toward Gimmelwald. The path led into the woods, promising another beautiful alpine walk, this time surrounded by quiet forest mountain air. On the way down to Gimmelwald, we came across a beautiful little spot with a wooden bench overlooking the valley. From here, you could sit for hours just watching the paragliders floating silently above the cliffs, surrounded by truly serene views. After about half an hour, we continued down the trail. Soon we reached the quiet village of Gimmelwald, often described as one of the most authentic and untouched alpine villages in Switzerland. Here we popped into one of its unique highlights, the famous honesty shop. There is no staff, no cash register, just shelves of local goods and box for payment. You simply help yourself and leave the money. It's a charming example of trust and simplicity. Right next to the path, on the right-hand side, we found the mountain hostel. We couldn't resist stopping for a quick drink before continuing our journey. From Gimmelwald, we took the gondola down to Stechelberg. You could walk down, but again we planned same day to get to Wengen, so gondola it is. Once we got down, we walked on foot back to the hotel. This time the valley was full of tourists enjoying the sunshine, a big contrast to the quiet rainy days we would had earlier. Once we got back to the hotel, we refreshed up and set off on foot to Wengen. It's not just a quick stroll. It takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes, covering roughly 3 kilometers with an ascent of around 490 to 500 meters. The trail, known locally as the Hostel, begins gently but quickly settles into a steady uphill climb with no flats to rest. It's uphill all the way. Some sections wade through dense forest, while others open onto views of the Lauterbrunnen valley. The path is wide and well groomed, like a gravel jeep road, but the incline remains consistent. After the steady climb, we finally reached Wengen, and to our surprise, it was buzzing with life. This little alpine town was full of tourists wandering around, shops and cafes open, and a really vibrant atmosphere. Wengen is famous for its car-free streets, traditional wooden chalets, and breathtaking views of the Jungfrau region. It's also world renowned as the home of the annual Lauterbrunnen ski races, one of the longest and most challenging downhill courses in the World Cup. In summer, it's a base for countless hikes, offering stunning panoramas without the traffic and noise of cars. That mix of charm and convenience makes it a magnet for visitors. After exploring Wengen, we decided to go back to Lauterbrunnen by train. If you ever do this journey, make sure to sit on the left-hand side. This way you get the best views of the Lauterbrunnen Valley opening up below you. And that wraps up just the first 3 days of our adventure here in Lauterbrunnen. The amazing part? We still have another 3 full days of hikes and explorations to share with you. And trust me, they are even more stunning and unforgettable than what you have seen so far. So stay tuned and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episodes of this journey through one of the most beautiful valleys in the world. Until next time.